morning, everyone. Today we'll be dealing with the poem On Killing a Tree by J.V. Patel. J.V. Patel is a prominent Indian English writer and he was born in Mumbai. And Patel belongs to one of the group of writers who subscribe themselves to the into the green movement in an effort to protect the nature or the environment. The poem speaks about his poem speaks about the deep concerns for nature and man's cruelty towards nature. So his works include a collection of poems entitled Poems, which was published in 1966, and How Do You Withstand Nature uh, and How Do You Withstand Body, which was published in 1976, and Mirroring in 1991. And he has also written three plays entitled Princess Savaksha and Mr. Behram. He's a painter too. And dominant concerns of Patel's poetry are the besieged terrain of human body and its frailty, absurdity, and perishability. Perishability refers to the death or destruction. Frailty refers to the weakness, and absurdity refers to the foolishness. The vulgar social inequalities of caste and class that continue to assail even in the post-independence India. The predicament of the subaltern, and also the daily catalogue of violence, conflict, and the pain that make up the century's folk song, the perpetual looming shadow of the physical death, and an probing curiosity about what, if anything, lies beyond a world of a fraught materiality. Now, giving a brief introduction to the poem On Killing a Tree, it is included in the collection of poems entitled Poems, and it was launched by the famous poet Nazim Ezekiel, and it describes man's cruelty to trees with irony, and it employs a lot of irony and detachment in the poem. And here you can find the step-by-step process of annihilating or completely destroying a tree, as it is portrayed in the poem. And the tree has grown slowly by consuming the earth, and it has become strong by absorbing a lot of elements from the earth, and it is very strongly rooted into the soil. So hence it makes the simple act of jabbing, hacking, or chopping can't destroy a tree, and it has remarkable powers of resilience. Also, it has a remarkable power of coming back by healing its own wounds and making a new growth from there. So man decides to pull out the tree itself and cuts the tree into its convenient pieces. So his torture for the felled tree is not stopping there. He continued to torture it by choking and scorching it in the sun and air, and thus browning it and hardening it by a lot of chemical processes. So the man is not unaware of the benefits of a tree in his life, but the greed for wealth is uh, greed for wealth has made him utterly callous, thick-skinned and insensitive. So the poem provides the step-by-step instructions. I'm quoting from the text. The poem provides the step-by-step instructions for destroying the tree. Its implied messages is against killing trees. The poem underlines the resilience of nature in spite of human violence against it. Patel employs irony and sarcasm to convey his anger against environmental destruction. However, the poem is open for multiple interpretations. It seems to speak of a persistence if we want to eradicate a problem. The source of problem needs to be removed for its total eradication. Okay, now we will move on to the poem, the On Killing a Tree by G.V. Patel. What we have to understand here is that the poem is not that provocative. It is the tone of the poem is very flat, dispassionate, and also even offhand, you can say that. And it neither tried to pity nor sentimentalize on the subject of deforestation that it is going to talk about in the poem, but see, it is a very flat tone, but make the readers understand how grave is the issue of deforestation that they are facing today. Okay, and how difficult it is to grow up a tree. Though he is talking about deforestation, the way human beings cut down the trees and use for their particular purposes, for the materialistic purposes, he in a way tried to convey the importance of growing up a tree, or the difficult task of growing up a tree. And also the poem has a very simple diction. As I've told you, it's though not provocative, it has some kind of remarkable evocative power. Okay, but the poem is a commentary on many of the environmental issues that human beings are facing today, especially the process of deforestation. Now we will move on to the poem paragraph wise. Okay, it takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So here, in the poem, the poet starts the poem by pointing out that it takes a lot of time to cut a tree, because the simple act of stabbing a tree with a knife is not going to kill a tree. Okay, and because the reason why it is not easy to kill a tree by just stabbing it with a knife is this, that it has grown very slowly, consuming a lot of elements from the earth. Okay, for example, therefore in a simple cut with a knife cannot kill a tree. So it is not an easy job to kill a tree, as it has grown strong by absorbing lot of elements from the earth and the atmosphere for many years. Okay, it has taken nutrients from the soil and absorbed absorb the sunlight, air, and water for a long time, and for a long time, and out of its leprous hide. Why the poet tried to tell us here, why the poet uses the word leprous hide? Well, the leprous hide shows that the bark of the tree, or the outside of the tree, is not that beautiful. It is very rough and hard. So from its rough looking bark, like the skin of a leper, okay, like the skin of a leper, you say that it is like a skin of a leper because it is so disfigured, like the disfigured and irregular. It doesn't have a soft texture outside. So the bark of the tree, which looks rough and which doesn't have a very soft texture outside, from there and thus it looks or resembles like the skin of a leper. So from there the leaves come out. Leaves means that means from this not very not so beautiful side of the tree, a new growth happens, or a new life comes out. So the crust means the upper part of the earth. Moving on into the second paragraph. So hack and chop. Hack means the process of hacking, and chopping is the process of cutting. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to the former size. But okay, now it is not easy to, the poet in the first paragraph conveyed that it is not easy to cut a tree by just a simple stabbing, by just simply stabbing it with a knife. No, it is not possible, because he explains the reason, because the life of the tree has grown up slowly by absorbing many elements from this earth, and therefore it is not easy to kill a tree by just a simple stabbing of the knife. Again, he tells us that yes, you can go up with the process of cutting, but this alone won't do it. But the simple process of hacking and chopping won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. What it refers to the killing of the tree. Okay, so in this stanza the poet states that we need to do a lot of effort in order to kill a tree. According to him, the simple stab and chopping, the simple hacking and chopping won't kill the tree completely, because it could only injure the tree, which would suffer the pain with all its strength. The poet tells us that the tree has a very fascinating spirit, and the spirit of the tree will receive its full strength, and the tree will will receive full strength, and within time the injured bark of the tree will heal its wounds, and the tree will grow once again. Okay, and the bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Okay, that means that the green twigs and small branches will grow again on the tree. Consequently, the tree will grow into its full size again as it was before being cut down or killed. Okay, so therefore it's not easy to kill a tree with these measures. So the poet tells us that the simple stab of a knife is not stab or jab with a knife is not going to kill a tree, because the tree has grown slowly by absorbing many elements from this earth. So it is not easy to kill a tree with a simple jab of a knife. Then he said that that's true, you cannot do that, but you can continue the process of hacking and chopping, but this also won't help you in killing a tree, because the tree has a very fastening spirit. The bleeding tree has a very will absorb all its strength, and will absorb all its strength, and it will heal its wound, and again from there you can find the twigs coming up new twigs coming up. And again these green twigs and small branches will grow again onto a tree. Consequently, the tree will grow into its full size. Miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to the former size. So these small boughs will again if unchecked, means if you don't try to measure it and try to cut it down again, if it is left unchecked, then else it will again grow into a big tree as it was before, once it was being cut down. Okay, once it was before being cut down. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be robbed, tied and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely out of the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. So here the two words that you have to understand here is anchoring earth. The anchoring earth refers to the soil in which the roots of the trees are kept hidden. Okay, so the soil and the roots of the earth form a very tight grip like an anchor and keeps it rooted. As a result, the tree stands firmly there and deeply in its place. Okay, and the next one is earth cave, means a small region inside the ground where the roots are fixed after being pulled out, after the tree being pulled out. What you can see is the area is like the area will be like resemble like a small cave. So these are the two words that you have to understand here. Okay, and now the point points out that the exact manner through which a tree can be killed. Okay, here in this paragraph, that is what the poet aims, the exact manner in which a tree can be killed. To kill a tree completely, its roots need to be taken out of the soil where it's hiding into the earth, and a poet tells us that the root is the strength of the tree, and it gives a support to the tree, and it must and it is the most vulnerable as well as the sensitive part of the tree, because once you pull the root out of the soil, you can see that the roots are if you take each and every root one by one, it is very sensitive, it is so watery, it is not that strong, but it is the sensitive and most vulnerable part of the tree which once anchored into the earth, which makes the tree much more stronger and hold it into its place. So when it is pulled out, it can be seen that the strength comes out from the strong roots. Okay, once you pull out the roots of the tree, only then you find what is the strength of the tree. That is the strength of the tree comes out from the roots. The roots are white, wet and most sensitive, and they have been hidden there inside the earth for ages. Moving on into the next paragraph. Then the matter of scorching and choking. Scorching and choking means suffocating. Okay, I mean unable to breathe. Then putting something under sun or heat is called as is what you mean by is scorching. In the sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So once the tree is so in the last paragraph, what the poet said was that it is the roots that need to be snapped out entirely from the earth, which keeps the tree deeply or firmly inside the earth. So it is the first thing that you need to move in order to kill a tree. And now in this paragraph he tells us that once the tree is pulled out with its roots, then it is a matter of scorching and chalking it in the sun and air. Then it will get brown, harden, twist and withers, and now the killing process is complete. Only then the killing process will be complete. Withering means waning or fading away from life. That is what you mean by withering. So here in the last paragraph the poet tells us how you need to complete the process of killing a tree. Here, once the roots are uprooted, it will get exposed to the sun and air, and as a result it start dying due to the heat, and the roots become brown, and its soft surface become hard and dry. After some time it loses its shape and starts twisting, and finally the tree will die. So this is the process of killing a tree. So what you have to use here or understand here is that nowhere does the poet talk about the devastating effects of killing a tree, or nowhere he asks for preserving a tree, because he tells us that it is high time that men understood the adverse effect of his own deeds. So it is it is of no use making man remember again and again, but they have to understand what are the processes that they are doing knowingly or unknowingly while killing a tree. So the main element, poetic device used here in the poem is irony. The poet talk about the process of killing a tree for what? In order to make man understand the adverse effects that may fall upon him as well as on the entire earth by misusing trees or by the process of deforestation. Okay, so on killing a so here the irony means when you talk about something in order to speak just the opposite of it, it is what you mean by irony. So here the poet talk about the process of killing a tree in order to make the readers understand the devastating effects of killing a tree and the need to preserve trees and grow more and more trees. So here the poetic device used is irony. Now in the essay questions, on killing a tree describes man's cruelty and violence to nature. Of course, yes, that you can find here. And also you can take up the introductory statements given in the text in this text, as well as you can take examples from the poem and from other poems also. You can make a comparative analysis and make your answers there. Then how does G.V. Patel employ the irony as a poetic device in On Killing a Tree? That's an essay question. So there you can tell that's what I have told you now. The poet nowhere talks about preserving a tree, but he always makes man remind the very devastating process of killing a tree in order to make him understand and accept how adverse the effects of deforestation would fall upon him. Okay, so these two are there. The notes will be given in the description box, which you can use for writing the answers. And the objective questions: in which collection was the poem On Killing a Tree originally published? In a collections entitled Poems. And what does the word hide mean in the leprous hide? Hide refers to skin. Okay, so the rest of the questions, I hope it's easy for you. Hope you all enjoyed the session and you like this. And I hope it will be helpful for you, at least of some help for you for your exams. Thank you and have a nice day.